Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my channel. This is Dusty with Dusty's Color and Art, and I have a special video today. So, if you watch my channel, you know that I've gotten two PR packages, one from Vipcrossstitch and one from Sevengreat. And so, I haven't cross-stitched in years. I think I learned when I was about 11. And, you know, at that time, the only patterns that I could really find were, you know, wolves. How many wolves can you cross stitch? And, you know, butterflies and just those cute little, you know, ones that you would find at Walmart or anything like that. But they weren't really my style, so I would start doing them and then I would, you know, not finish them because they didn't do anything for me. One of the other reasons I quit cross-stitching was I would get holes in my fingers, and I could never find like something to go over my finger. And I mean now, and I guess when I was that age, we didn't have the internet, but now with all these companies, and I don't know if there were, you know, all these companies selling cross stitches before, but now they are so accessible and reasonably priced if you go to the right places. So I obviously did the PR packs for those, and I'm really excited to start. I really want to learn how to stitch in hand because I have never done that, and I want to learn the sewing method to see if I can do that. So this is going to be an enlightening video. So please hit the like button, subscribe if you like what you see and want to see more, and ring my bell to get notified anytime I post a video. Thank you for being here and being so supportive, you guys. So, this cross stitch I got from Sevengreat, and it is a 14 count, 17 by 16 centimeters. Here's the canvas code here, and then I guess maybe that's a canvas code, Winter Village. It contains your cotton fabric, your cotton thread, your needle, and your instructions. So I thought we could get into this and check it out. For anybody who's new to cross-stitching, on the back of the bag they have your instructions, and they explain how to cross-stitch here. They talk about things to do or not do here. Here's where they show you how to pick out your thread and how to clean it when you're done. I have also never done stamped cross-stitch, and all the ones that I got this time are stamped, so I'm really excited to try these out. Also, here's your kind of list of embroidery stitches, just in case you need anything other than a full stitch. So let's get into this. Alright, so the first thing we have is our pattern. So here it tells me how many colors, so I have 21 colors. And they're all full stitch. I don't have any back stitch or half stitches on this one. And then on the other side is the paper pattern, which will be very handy if I need to reference it. So I'm really excited that it's, you know, kind of big, and I'm able to see everything that I need to see. And let's see. Okay, there's that and that. Alright, so I'll just put that here. It did come with 2 needles, and they are the gold eye needles, so from what I understand, they're pretty good. They seem very short to me, but I don't know if that's just me. And then here is our canvas, and again, it's got the canvas code here, the number Winter Village, tells me here it's 14 count. So 14 count means 14 stitches per inch. So you can go to 11 or 9 count. I have never done that. I have only ever done 14 counted cross. So this is 65 stitches wide and 63 stitches high, and this is what you call Aida cloth. So it's, you know, it's it doesn't have a lot of give. it's pretty standard. If you can see the little holes, if you find like 4 holes, one on top, one next to it, one up, that's 1 square. So if you get an 11 count, they're going to have bigger squares, and you're going to be able to see those those holes a lot better. So they once you get past Ada, they have even weave, and then they have linen. I know nothing about linen. I've never used even weave either, so I've only ever used Ada. And so that's that. And then we have our floss card here. So here are the colors. Sorry about that. On this side, they're really pretty colors, and there's not a lot because, well, it's a very small painting, so you don't need a lot. When I was checking things out originally, I did pull this piece out for number 820, so I just put it over here. And then we can check out this side's colors. And yeah, I think they look really nice. They seem nice and soft, so that is so cool. And so from what I understand, we're just gonna turn this over here. So if I wanted to start stitching this green section, that would be 11. So then you would come down here and find the green and number 11. So if it's number 11, we come over here. Number 11 is A, which is 798. So then you go to your floss card and you find 798, you take a thread, and then that's how you figure out what to cross stitch. So this is going to be so much fun. So I got a couple other things. I got this adhesive tape. It sticks to itself, and apparently people are using it kind of like a thimble to wrap around their fingers. So if this stuff works, it is an absolute game changer for me because I enjoy stitching. I just find it kind of painful. So I'm excited about that. I do have a hoop just in case I need it. It'll fit this one just perfectly. This is the best hoop I have in the house because I haven't done this for probably 15 years. So I do have a hoop if I need it. I also got these really pretty scissors, and they are very, very sharp, like super sharp, and so I've been just storing them in the piece it came in because it didn't come with like a scissor cover or anything, and they're very sharp. So we have that, and then I also got this set, and it's a 30-piece set. And it has 2 threaders in it, which is what I wanted because my eyes are definitely not what they used to be. So we have a threader, and just in case we have some extra needles in here too. So we'll put this off to the side here. We'll put the cover on just to make sure I don't, you know, spill it everywhere. And let's see if we can get a needle out. These come stapled onto the card. I already took it off when I was looking at things when I got it. So let's see here. I am really, really bad about putting the needle in my mouth to hold it. And you guys, this is like a PSA. Do not put it in your mouth and hold it there. I had this friend who used to do it all the time. She'd talk with it in her mouth, like hanging out. And one day she got up and she tripped, and the needle went up into the soft plate at the top of her mouth, and yeah, it was very, very painful. So I don't recommend that. Try and, you know, when I usually stop, I just put it through the fabric like this on the edge, and, you know, then it holds it there and you don't have to worry about it. Or you could use a cover minder. I have 2, but I just got them and they are somewhere else. So we're not going to worry about that. So I think normally when you do counted cross stitch, you find the middle and then you start from there, and then you work to your right, and then you work down to your left, up. So being that I'm trying to stitch this in hand, I thought maybe this color would be good. I believe, if I can see it correctly, that it is O's. So if we look for the red O symbol, which I believe is this one, it's kind of like a little diamond. This is really hard to see, but if I'm looking here, I can tell that this one here, or sorry, this one here is number 10. So I know that that is 11, 12, so 13 are those red kind of diamonds on the canvas. So let's see here. 13 is number 820. So that's actually the one that came out when I was checking things out. So let's see here. Okay, I have never done this before, but I have seen somebody else do it and it worked. So I am going to try it and hope that it works. And if not, well, I guess we'll figure out another way. So what I've seen people do is they kind of go into this overhitch knot here and they find one thread. So embroidery floss is usually made up of 6 strands of cotton. And the biggest supplier of floss is DMC. So if you know what your DMC numbers are or whatnot, then like I knew 820 was going to be dark blue. So these are all DMC codes here. All right, so I did it. It came out very well, actually. So I am going to take this. I'm going to create a better edge than that because that'll never go through my needle that way. So let's see here. So now to thread your needle, where did I put my needle? There it is. Don't do that either. Needles get lost. People step on them. And it hurts. It's not fun. So, wow, I'm having some issues getting a hold of this dude. Okay, come on. There we go. All right. So, to use the threader, it is a brilliant thing. It is so small and, you know, it doesn't look like anything. So, when you have, let's see here, so you have your needle, and then we put the little end, let's see, okay, so there we go, so we put it through the eye of the needle here, and then I'm going to take my 2 ends of floss, and I am going to catch them just behind the hook here. And then when I pull my hook off of this, it will thread. Okay, it didn't work. Of course not. So let's try that again. This is a little fiddly. I shake, so I find it difficult to find the hole to begin with. Alright, so we should be able to put this here, and then when we pull the needle through, oh wow, maybe these needles are too small for the hook. There we go. Wow, that was like way harder than it should have been. It's probably, you know, something on me. That's okay. All right, so here is, this is 1 strand with 14 count. You generally stitch 2 over 1. So that means I have 2 threads because I doubled it here. And then I'm going to stitch over each square. So I will stitch like bottom left to top right, bottom right to top left, and that will make my X. And then I can come down here and I will do bottom left to top right and then bottom left to top right for the second stitch. And then I will go back and I will cover them. So I am going to do this section. We're going to see how it goes. Like I said, I've never stitched in hand or stamped cross stitch, so this could be an experience, and we're just going to flip this over so that way if I need help, because I know that I am working on the C's on here, and so as you can see, the C is number 13, which is 820, which we have already on here. So let's try this out. So I'm gonna start with the loop method. That's why I really enjoy, you know, working on 14 count, because as long as you have an even number of threads, you can start with the loop method. So you're gonna put your needle through at the top right corner of the stitch you're working on. Then you're going to bring the fabric and you're going to leave it out for a bit until we come up. So then we're going to come up in that bottom left stitch, if I can find it. Wow. There. Okay, and then we are going to put our needle through both threads through the loop, and we're going to pull, and then if we go back down in the top right loop, top right hole, and we pull it through, it'll pull that to the back. So that's a very effective way of starting, and I actually really enjoy that, because before I used to actually just use knots, and you know, knots are not the thing knots are not the thing to do. Apparently your cross stitch is supposed to look as pretty on the back as it does on the front. But here's the thing. It's your craft project, you know, you're not required to do anything special. You take what works from different people, you know, from different instructions, and you make it yours and you make it work for you. I mean, a lot of times when you're cross stitching, you know, you're doing it for fun, and you're doing it, you know, probably you're gonna mount it into a frame maybe, or, you know, something like that. So you're actually never going to see the back of your project anyway. So here we're doing 2 in a row like this, and then I'm going to come down in the bottom right, if I can find the hole. There we go. And then we're going to go down in the top left, and then we're going to come up in the bottom right, and then we're going to go down in the top left. So I know I'm not sewing in, I'm not using the sewing method yet. I mean, it's been a lot of years since I cross-stitched, so I figure, you know, being that it's very small, it doesn't hurt to go back and forth, so I figured I'd get, you know, my groove back and, you know, figure out my tension if I'm not putting it in a hoop. I mean, if you only change one thing at a time, then you know what you like, you don't, you know what the problem is if you need to fix something. Where if I started this and it was stamped and I was starting the sewing method and holding it instead of in a hoop, that's a lot of things that, you know, have potential for mistakes. And then you never really know, is it my tension because I'm holding it in my hand, or is it, you know, the sewing method that is creating problems. You know, so it's better to start one thing at a time and figure out what you're doing. And then, sorry I keep moving it. I do need to see. Having a light pad underneath can actually be really helpful. So if you look, you can see the holes through the fabric. And so even with just that minimal light coming up, makes it able to see the stitches a lot better. So especially if you're working with dark thread or dark Aida, this can be super helpful. And I mean, I have my light pad for diamond painting, but why not, you know, use it for more than one item, or more than one craft, I guess. So let's see here. There we go. I'm trying to keep it in frame while trying to, you know, figure it all out. So how are you guys doing? Are you working on any cool projects? Have you guys gotten any new fun projects lately? What kind of crafts do you all do? Like, are you a multi-crafter where, you know, you cross stitch, crochet, diamond paint, knit, you know, 101 things that are crafty? And I tend to find that a lot of, you know, crafty people do more than one craft. So I've just started, I used to crochet again years ago, and I decided that I want to start making amigurumi, like stuffed toys. So right now I'm working on a little plushy turtle, and so I've been starting with that. Obviously I've been diamond painting. Yeah, so I have a lot of crafts that I do. Okay, so here you're gonna come up. Well, what I would do. What you would do could be completely different, and that's okay. So what I am gonna do, I'm gonna do these 2 stitches right here, and then I'm gonna like miss one, and then I'm gonna do these stitches and then come back. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do for this row. So this thread is really nice, and I'm finding so far, I mean, it's obviously going to be very different with a larger canvas, and even once I get to this side and have to start, you know, holding it, my hand is cramping a little bit, and I'm getting my little dents on my finger. I mean, I used to have calluses, but, you know, I don't use that finger for much anymore, so all my calluses went away. So there's the second one, and then I'm going to skip this yellow one here, and I'm going to put it in there, and then continue my row. So I have been watching a ton of cross-stitch videos looking at like new things or techniques, and I really wanted, just because my vision is starting to go not well, not good, I really wanted to use Pattern Keeper, or there's another one that I don't remember the name of, and you can use them with PDF files, which obviously these are paper patterns, so not quite the same. There is a way to use Pattern Keeper with a paper pattern. It tells you how to do it in the app, but basically you take a picture of it as straight on as you can, and then once you have it, you load it into the program, and then it gets you to make sure that like all your grid is all even. And once you make sure your grid is even, then it will put it into the program, and it won't, like, if this was a PDF, and I did this on Pattern Keeper, it would show me, if I clicked on this color, it would show me where all of this color is across the whole painting. And, you know, or you can do it by symbol. And if you're using the PDF, you can click on what you've done and get them to be like grayed out so that they're, you know, it tells you that they're finished. So I was really hoping to use that. I am going to try to maybe put one of my other patterns into Pattern Keeper and see how that goes. And if I do, I will come on here with my tablet and I will show you guys how to do it if you want to do it, because I know a lot of you are getting your cross stitches from, you know, Vipcrossstitch, and so you're getting paper patterns, and you know, sometimes it's just nice to, you know, be able to see it on a bigger screen, be able to blow it up. Another thing is, if you take a picture, a nice clear picture of your canvas, then on your phone you can blow it up wherever you want to. So if we're looking at this section here, we could blow it up and make sure, you know, that we see all the stitches there. My husband has had me doing that for quite a long time, and it's actually really, really cool to do it, because you blow it up, you know, move it to where you need to, and then you're good to go. So let's see here. So I know I am by no means at all a master stitcher or, you know, anything like that, but I thought maybe, you know, I could do a quick overview and, you know, see what you guys think of it. And yeah, so I am going to do the next row for sure, and then we're gonna see how much time I have. Oh yeah, if I want to do this row, I'm gonna have to hurry. For this one, actually, yeah, no, I'm just gonna skip over those 3 stitches. Sometimes if I was gonna keep stitching, I might go down here and then here and back, so that I'm not trailing my thread across from behind the fabric. But I know that they give you a lot more thread than you actually need. I know, you know, it's not a big deal because this is a full coverage, so everything is going to be filled in. There, sorry about that. So, you know, it'll cover that up. I wouldn't carry my thread if it was across, like, say, a white section, because then you might see that dark fabric through the canvas itself. But you know, all the other colors that are going to be filling this up aren't going to, you know, it's not going to be a big deal if I run across a couple stitches. So some other stuff I've been watching on FlossTube, apparently is what it's called, is people doing a full cross stitch, so all you know, completely coverage, and then they use what's called a parking method, and I do not think I understand the concept well enough. Oh, did I go too far? See, now it's a good thing to check. So I've got the one here, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, I didn't go too far. I thought I went 1 too far, but it didn't, so that's good. And see, so that's why it's really kind of important to keep your pattern, whether it's in Pattern Keeper or your paper pattern, just to check on little stuff like that. And then, you know, you feel better because you know you're in the right place. And yeah, so sometimes finding the holes when you're not looking at the back is a little difficult. You can get different frames, like this is a classic hoop that you put it in, and all the frame does is it keeps the fabric tight so that when you stitch on it, you know, your tension is good, everything like that. So they do have like regular hoops, like what I just showed you. And then there's Q-snaps, which come in different sizes, and you can build them to be different sizes. And you put your fabric over the bar, it's like a PVC pipe, and then they have like a piece that kind of goes over top, and you push it down and it snaps into place. And then, you know, it holds it that way. And then you can get like scroll frames where the top and the bottom, or the left or right, I guess, depending whatever you're doing, but the top and bottom, you would attach it to the roll bar and you would roll it, and then it has two bars on the side to hold it there. And then all you have to do is, I mean, you can hold it or you can get stands. So there are stands, you know, that you can put between your legs as you're sitting in your comfy chair, and it has like a little thing that you can screw on, or like a clip that will hold your Q-snap or your hoop, and then that way you can stitch two-handed, which makes things, you know, a lot quicker because you're going up with one hand and then, you know, you're coming up, going down, and so it does make it a lot quicker. I'm not ready to get into that yet. We'll see how I do with this, and see, you know, how, if I decide I want to keep doing it, or if it's, you know, something I'm permanently got out of my system. So anyway, so I still have a little bit left, so I am just going to put it as far up in the corner here as I can. Try not to leave it in there for any extended amount of time. It could rust or it could warp the fabric. But yeah, so there we go. There, I started my first cross stitch in 15 years. So thank you for being here with me. I've had a really fun time. Hopefully you guys find this, you know, I hope you guys like it. So don't forget, you matter and you are enough. Thank you.